Shakespeare. I think it is really interesting why the wife of the most important playwright in the whole world is so unknown. I don't really know much about Shakespeare. I studied it for O-level, I studied it for A-level, but I know nothing. Nobody really knows who Anne Hathaway is, and unless you really know your stuff, you wouldn't even know that that was his wife. She's either been perceived as this puritanical woman who's like, devoid of humour and devoid of, of passion, or she's this kind of trollop that kind of captured Shakespeare and dragged him into the bushes and forced him to get her pregnant and married. One of my favourite quotes is, "History is a lie agreed upon." This idea that history just gets passed on and presented down. There's various strands to what I'm doing: the commercial, the merchandise, the gift shop, like this one, which is to buy or not to buy. I think it's really funny. The experience now for a lot of people is on their cell phones, is on the Instagram, and that's become really how people experience it to a degree. So I wanted to kind of make a reference to that. I want to really try and invent her as a kind of a living, breathing, passionate woman. You read that she was ugly, or you read that, he didn't like her, or he hated her, and you think, well, how can you possibly know that? So there's loads of tea towels that you can buy. This one's from about the 70s, I think. So the plan with these is to chop them all up and to remake them into something that almost looks a bit like a trade union banner. My favourite quote is, "Well-behaved women rarely make history," because they don't. That's the point, Shakespeare covers everything. There's nothing he doesn't cover. I think that what I'm doing is similar to what Shakespeare did: used profanities, used humour, toilet humour. I like the idea that, he was saying country matters all over the place. I like to think of Shakespeare really as a bit like Del Boy, only fools and horses, a ducker and diver, somebody that wasn't just a great writer, but someone who must have been an entrepreneur. We know he went to London, we know he made lots of money, came back, he bought up the biggest house in Stratford. So I've often seen him in that kind of way. I kind of like to see him as a bit like Madonna, someone who's able to have taken all these creative bits, put them together and presented it. He must have loved his wife, he must have gone back there, she must have been a strong figure in his life, and that he does say that. He's written all this wonderful stuff about strong women and love.